Hi, I'm Kevin and I'm coming to you here from the Super City's best playground. We're at Pukekohe racetrack, as you can hear by the background noise. Today we've been out playing on not one but three Kawasaki ZX-10Rs. One of them's a stock standard unit that you buy off your showroom floor. Then we've got this. This is Nick Cole's #2 bike, which is basically a stock engine. It's got a full exhaust system, a race ECU. They played with the suspension a bit. This is the bike that Nick Cole took to Australia and did very well on. After that, we took out the ZX-10R Superbike, which he's been campaigning successfully on this year. We did an interview with Nick, talking about the process of getting a brand new model. It's got a new frame, it's got new brakes, new engine, and a full electronics package, and working their way through it. The stock unit puts out 200.3 horsepower at the crank, so it's no slug. Realistically, although it's top secret, the Superbike putting out probably about that at the rear wheel. It's not a monster to ride. It's very forgiving. It's got lots of mid-range and it hits like a sledgehammer when you open it up. They've done a lot of work on the brakes. They've got a really nice package. So hopefully when Nick starts next summer, this year was a development year and he's still won a couple of races, got a few podiums. Next year you'd have to expect to see Nick Cole and the Red Devil race team fighting for podiums all the way through the season, right from the start. Now taking the stock bike out, it's a weapon, but it's much more mellow, a bit softer in the suspension. It has the luxury of KIBS, which is Kawasaki's intelligent braking system, aka ABS. Gives you that peace of mind that when you're firing along at a decent rate of knots, you haul on those pretty awesome anchors, you're not going to lock it up and it'll turn to custard. Getting up to the Olin steering damper, just to keep it all nice and tidy. When you're going through the gears, you've got a lot of horsepower, the front's going to come up. When it goes down, you don't want it flicking your wrists really hard, tank slapper, so it mellows it all out. They've got a horizontally positioned shock in the latest model. What that does is it's supposed to make it easier to tune. The last model was a little bit of a fire-breathing dragon and a bit difficult to make a nice neutral handling bike with. The stock model has titanium headers, so if you wanted to race it in super stock, you don't have to put a full system. All you'd have to do is put an end can on it, an ECU, take off the expensive plastics, put on some fiberglass race fairings, off you go, one competitive super stock racer. The Superbike, they've gone for a full Akrapovic system. They put an Olin's TTX shock in what is basically a world first, designed and built here in New Zealand. Is the shock now has the suspension world's equivalent of a turbocharger's blow-off valve. It's going to take those square edge hits and rather than give you a really big knock, it's going to actually dissipate that excess energy. The Superbike that Nick races has got carrozzeria wheels, which are a lot lighter. Lightening wheels means it can change direction much easier. So a Superbike turns in at an alarming rate. First couple of times you go, oops, a bit too early. Once you get used to it, it's absolutely gorgeous. The ride height, they've kicked it up a wee bit higher, so it turns in a bit quicker as well. But Nick likes a nice settled bike. It's not twitchy, it's not really weird. You get on and go, this thing's civilized, put lights on it, and you could ride it on the road. His Superbike has cams in it, but that's about it. What has made the difference is the suspension. They've worked really hard on the brakes. They've played with different pistons, different seals. Then they've worked on the suspension to get it so that they can get that power down without it being too rigid. To help Nick and the Red Devil team sort the bike out, they've got little meters on the suspension. It's all linked to a data logger on the dash which shows them the speed, the fastest sector, the optimum lap if they put all these nice things, like when you get one corner right, go, yeah, that's good. If you did it perfectly, it shows you how quick you could be. But what it does is tell you how fast the suspension's moving, how far it's moving, so that all that's there so they can develop a package for each track. That means they go there, they dial it in, and they're off to a flying start, so they're not developing it during the day. The most surprising thing about Nick Cole's Kawasaki ZX-10R Superbike is what hasn't been done to it. It has a race ECU which they've painstakingly tuned and mapped so that the fueling's as close to perfect as they can get. So when you're looking at it going, These guys are fast because they've got the fastest bike, they've got the best this, they've got the best that. What they have is patience, a dedicated team that works with them to iron out all the rough spots, and realistically the rest of it's down to rider talent. It's easy to get your ZX-10R up to the same speed, horsepower as Nick Cole's. If you want it to handle like Nick's, it's going to take you some time, it's going to take you some dollars. But if you want to get around Pukekohe as fast as someone like Nick Cole, realistically it comes down to courage and skill.